Okay, so it's 4:26 on the 1st, and it is Friday. It's my mom's payday, and so she wants to go out and do some shopping and get some stuff. And I just went up to go to the bathroom, and it just totally reeks like muscle rub. It smells so strong like muscle rub up there. It's like, oh, something. I don't know. I guess I'll see how she feels this morning. But it definitely is intense. The energy is intense, and it's going to cause tension and stuff. So she keeps having a really horrible thing with her face, but it smelled so strong. It's like, man, it smelled like a whole bottle was out. So, so she obviously had been up, and that's rough too. It's getting up in the middle of the night is rough for a lot of people. I'm so used to it now, and people think I'm so strange, but I go to bed early because I know I'm going to be up early. And one of these, it must be Archie because he's right here, is really tooting some horrific stink up in my face. It's like, oh man, now he moved. But this morning, oh my God, I'm totally freaked. And so every little noise now, I am listening. And I keep hearing noises, of course. And so I was laying there, and Stella made some wines. She's been whining all night, and then she starts licking her paw. So it's her arthritis. And there was this girl who checked. She said I can't find anything in her anal gland. So, and that's the second because I had taken her to the vet to have it done. They said they couldn't find anything, but I was like, oh, it's a vet tech because the vet she used to go to before the quarantine and stuff, she had gotten a lot of stuff out, but then also still has been walking a lot, so maybe she has built her strength. I don't know, because before it was she can't get it all out because of her hips, but she is stronger now, so maybe she really is getting it out. And I'm doing the yeast pills. In the vinegar, I'm not just spraying straight vinegar for her to help. It's to help her clean because she can't reach very well. And but it's water mixed with vinegar, and vinegar is good. Like apple cider vinegar is good, like even for us to use cleaning our bodies. So and that area. So, anyways, but her discomfort that she keeps whining about is her arthritis, and so it's very achy. And she's very much like, if she doesn't feel good, she wants to make sure I know it. And then, so anyways, all night long, there's a lot of, with some nights, there's not. So I'll know like, oh, she's doing pretty good. But when it is that she isn't doing good, I can also feel it in my body. So I always know, like I can feel aches and pains, and something will be hurting, like my hand will start hurting or whatever, and then she'll get up and she'll start whining, and so I know it's her arthritis. That and I know it has to do with the energy and stuff on the planet, and then the poisons causing inflammation and stuff. And I feel so much better. I swear to God, yesterday after I just rested, I was like, oh my God, I feel so much better. And so I felt like shit for a couple days, but now I feel fine. But the it was funny too because when I went up in the morning, I was like going, I have this and this and that, whining about my symptoms. And my mom said, oh, you got the COVID, and I said, no, I've got the poisoning. That's what I say about everything. I've been poisoned. I've been poisoned. We're all being poisoned. Like, get through your head. We're all being poisoned. So anyways, I was asleep, and then Estelle started whining, and it woke me up. And I was like, just, and she was outside of the tent, and I don't know what I said. Just try, but it was already 3:30, so it was already, she could have been also whining about it. She's hungry, because she starts doing that around 3, sometimes 2:30, and so, and I can hear her stomach growling. And then, and she's used to eating when she wants to eat. She's not used to having an empty stomach. She wants it full all the time. And but anyways, so I'm laying there, and she does her whining, and I'm just roll over. Oh, stop, please, let me sleep. And So I roll over, and then all of a sudden, the other dogs come tearing across the thing, go running up to, because right over here, across from the tent, are those big rafter things. I don't know what you call them. They're like these shelving things, because my stepdad, he was a or flooring person for a long, long time. When Home Depot very first opened, it had all professionals. So it hired professional plumbers, professional floor people. For everything was, every department had professionals, and they paid him a lot of money. Because way back then he was making $17 or something an hour, and then doing flooring, it kicks your back and your knees ass. So he was like, yeah, I want to work in a store and just walk around telling people I'll do their floor. So he got hired as a professional at Home Depot, and so it's those things that they keep their stuff on. He had gotten a couple of those, I guess, when they were changing them out. So they're these ginormous, big, sturdy orange shelving things like in the store, and there's two of them, and they're full of stuff all the way. And then so anyways, they're right across from the tent, and so I'm in the tent, and then Stella's laying in front of the tent, and then there's those two big shelf things, and then all of a sudden the little dogs come tearing across the thing, go running across the thing, and start sniffing, and going crazy, running around it and sniffing and sniffing. I'm like, oh no, oh God. And so I'm like, oh fuck, what's in here? What the fuck? Were they laying here asleep? Did they hear the little shade thing open? That got their attention? Were they both watching? I don't even know, man. So they're going wild, trying to find it. They're running around everything, trying to find. They're both like, man, they were not fucking around. And they were smelling and trying to look, trying to get under the thing and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm turning on the lights. I'm getting the flashlight, trying to look underneath it. And like if it was a cat, I think it would have been hissing. So I don't think it was a cat. I'm like, is it a troll? Is it a gnome? Is it a mouse? Is it a rat? Is it a snake? What the fuck is in here? Is it a spider? I'm like, but they were so worked up. And so, anyways, every little sound now, I'm like, oh, what is it? And so I don't know. It's a mouse. There's so many places to hide for something small, and it's whatever it was. It came across the thing, went over there, and went under. And right in front of the garage door is a big pallet with more stuff on it. And but underneath the pallets, I was like, well, there's a hiding place. But this thing was like, no, it ran all the way across because the dog saw it and chased it. So, anyways, I got up. Got up, turned on the lights. I'm trying to help them find it. They eventually have given up, and now they are snoozing, but they're on high alert of it. And whatever it was, didn't even phase Stella, and she's usually so. I don't know. I'm hoping it was something small. Maybe it was just anything that came crawling through was just like I just want a house. I just want my own house again. But it's stuff like I don't know. I gotta remind myself, like, there's people who live in the motherfucking jungle who live with, no windows and doors like what we have. There's people who live all over the place in deserts and jungles and everything. And there's things where people live like, and it's like open. You got lizards clawing and going through and all sorts of stuff. And maybe it was a lizard. That would be okay. I'd be okay with that. If it's a lizard, a snake even, but I don't know. A snake could make its way into the tent and hide and then be unhappy when I go in. So snake, no. I don't think it's a cat. I don't think it would be a squirrel or anything. Like, it narrows down to me as a little gnome from the outdoors, a little troll thing. I've seen people get videos of these little things running around. And then I know there's little things. There's all sizes of little creatures. Which, I guess there's a thing about these octopuses that, I think they're called octopi in a big group. So these octopi have created a neighborhood in a whole community somewhere down in the ocean, and I guess they're watching it or whatever. And so they've gathered shells, they've made homes, they have like different ones, and they all live and they interact together. And then some of them will go after other ones, a victim. Like there's a whole thing going on down there that they're watching. But octopi, they are, they're really intelligent. And like if you catch one, like this is a thing and some kind of a thing I've seen too, is one was caught and it was in a jar, and it went and unscrewed the lid of the jar and got out. They're really, really smart, which then you start being like, oh, it's an intelligent being, and it's an alien because it's intelligent life. So, and it obviously has some state of consciousness. Everything, like, people don't realize, like, all this abuse that people are doing to dogs and cats and stuff, it's like, that is a soul in there. That is a living being. It's not just some mindless animal that doesn't feel anything. And it really creeps me out how there's people who think that way. Like, things are just alive and mindless. Even a spider will stop and watch you. I've fucking had that happen too. And the one, I've seen that girl, she was being chased by one. And no matter where she went, it would follow her around, and it kept trying to get her. I don't know what its plan was, just to get up there and fucking slap her. I don't know. But it was like not being fearful, like, because she could just turn around and stomp on it. But, and another thing that is trippy, what they have found in experiments and stuff, is like plants and different things in nature know what's about to happen before it happens. So, this is kind of a weird thing. It just popped into my mind too. There's another one of these animal communicators. And she said, so she was outside and she saw this little baby squirrel. And so she started trying to communicate with it. And so I think it was a couple of days. And then one day it stopped and it said, "Are you trying to talk to me?" And she said, "Yes, I'm trying to talk to you." And so it stopped and started talking to her, and it had put its tail up over its head. And so she said something like, "Oh, I'm not doing so well today," or something. And so it said, "Put your tail over your head." And she was like, "What?" And he said, "Put your tail over your head." And so she's like, "Well, I don't have a tail." But I mean, supposedly we have the connection, like that there was a tail at some point. And so that she imagined putting a tail up over her head. And she said all of a sudden she felt very secure and very warm and protected and stuff. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, that is nice." And the squirrel said, "Yeah, we're born with everything we need." And so this is what the lady's message was. She said it was so profound. And so yesterday too, when I wasn't feeling good, I started imagining I had a tail that went up over my head and was surrounding me and taking care of me. My tail is like a squirrel tail, I've decided. It's a big fluffy tail. Even though I saw a little squirrel yesterday and its tail was it had no fluff. I was like, they're just killing everything. The bees are fucking gone. And there's this information coming out that bees can cure reproductive for women, this big C. The bees have the answer. They have the antidote or something. So yeah, it makes sense when they're going after the divine feminine energy that they would try and make sure. And another thing too I saw recently was five mammograms that can give you the big C. Look at how they want you by the time you're 35. Get in there. Every year, get in there, get another one, get another one. And then when you start trying to fight them for it, no, I don't want to get one, they go fucking berserk on you. Well, it's free. Get in there. But see, they do stuff to create sickness. They do it on purpose. And then if you don't comply, then you are the psycho who doesn't trust science. It's like these scientists are out trying to fucking kill us. That's what they're trying to do. A bunch of fucking Dr. Frankensteins trying to just make money off of us. Hold on a second. I have a bunch of stuff coming in my head. For one thing, it's a motherfucking sauna. It was yesterday after it was super sunny, super hot, and then the clouds came in and covered, and then it turned into a sauna. It is so, oh my God. It's like, and it's supposed to be cloudy all today and all tomorrow. So I fucking don't even know what the hell they're doing all the time or how it's all going or whatever. But you would think when the clouds would cover the sun that it would kind of cool off. No, it turned into a sauna. And so it's super steamy in here and uncomfortable. And that's another thing too that Stella can't sleep through. And she'll whine and cry over being hot. And then she'll pant and pant and pant. But she's really big, and everybody, every time they see her, they're always like, well, she's a big girl. She's very chunky, isn't she? I'm like, well, she's lost weight and she looks good. Like, she likes to eat. What can I tell you? And her dad was 250 pounds, so she's one of those big mastiffs, she's got those genes in her. She's always been that way. My other mastiff, she was like sleek. She weighed 135, and she was very sleek looking. Stella's very like, she's like a little buff lady. She's cute as hell. I love that lady. And then I know that that's part of her journey. Like, that's the thing, is people don't realize all these animals are on their own journey too, and they're here to teach us things and to learn from us and stuff. It's a give and take with everything. And then there's such horrific stuff, like fucking one guy who he went and took gas or some kind of accelerant into like Times Square, some poured it all over a dog, and then just like the Congress guy. Somebody, whoever did that, I saw a video yesterday saying, well, we need more of that. They're not listening to the protest. Let's just, set them ablaze. It's like, oh shit, people are getting so crazy. Hold on, let me get a drink. This video, and I saw this girl, so she's popped up to my thing a few times. And she's young, and she looks like somebody who spends a lot of time in the gym. And her videos that I had seen were pretty ballsy, but I also thought, there's truth in there. And she was talking about that, because I could hear it we hear things on different levels. It's like our frequencies, we pick up on things, like everybody picks up on different things. And so it's all based on perspective and confirmation. And so this, on her video, I could hear this other message that that I think not everybody could hear, because I understand some concepts that I don't think everybody understands. And so her video is saying, and she's done a few now, and she says, I've stepped on some people's, or ruffled some feathers, or stepped on some people's toes or something, and people are reacting. But, she's 10 toes in. She's like, that's it. And so her thing is, you shouldn't be in a relationship unless you care about yourself. So if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't care about yourself, you have no business going out there trying to start a relationship. Well, that's the kind of stuff I've been talking about for a long time. And that's where people are getting these toxic relationships on, because they're vibration, because you're out there looking for somebody to give you something you can't give yourself. And I was one of those people. I lived it, so I know. And I have said that we shouldn't be going into relationships until we love ourselves. And it's going to step up the game, too. You're not going to just settle. You're not going to, oh, you like me? Okay, well, then you must be my person. And there's got to be like a mutual kind of thing. But when you don't love yourself, you're just looking for somebody to love you and somebody to give you something. But in those kind of toxic things, is that, for one thing, it's superficial and artificial. So the people who'll start liking you, they can just like you over what you look like or something, and not really like you as the person you are. They don't even see that. They don't see the person you are. They just see what they see, and they just go by their attraction. And then when you try and be you, that they don't like it, and then it causes a problem. It causes tension, and it causes fighting and stuff. And then you'll even be told, you're not, you need to be this different way. It's like you don't know yourself. You don't understand yourself. It's like, no, you're living in a fantasy world. This is who I am, and you can't accept me. So it becomes a battle. And then, depending on how you feel about yourself, you can try and make them happier. There was a video I just saw, and this is like going mainstream now, is I see all these videos. So one of them was this girl, and she's like, well, I'm going to go start working out, but my boyfriend, or whoever he is, fiance, boyfriend, I don't think it's her husband, but they've been together for years, and she says she wants to go work out, which he goes to the gym. She says she wants to go to the gym, and so he freaked out and said, no, that you don't need to go work. What are you trying to get fixed up so you can leave me? You just want other guys to look at you? Like, went off on that whole fucking thing, jealousy, and no, you need to stay the way you are, and I don't want any other guys looking at you, and so you must be wanting other guys and stuff. So goes in on her. And so then she goes on the internet, well, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? So many people, they don't know what to think. And so, because our society is just lost. I know I was lost for a long time, but that I was lost and then I was found. You got to find yourself. Then, and I had commented and I said, you got to do what makes you happy. And if you being you isn't good for them, then they aren't good for you. And so you got to follow your lead. You can't go around trying to please others, and because there's no pleasing them. And when you come out of alignment, you just got to let things go. But she's like, well, we've been together a long time and I don't want to break up. And in the comments, she's like, well, I'm going to go talk to him some more. So I don't know, but this is the thing, is people have got to see, you have to, sometimes, yeah, you got to break free from certain relationships when they're trying to hold you back from your best version of yourself, whatever that is. I don't know what her body is. I don't know what her health is. I don't know, if she needs to go work out. I don't know. But sometimes you need to work out because you just need it. Like, you can look good already. There's lots of young girls that have not exercised and they still look good. But that doesn't mean that they don't need to exercise. Everybody needs to get out and move around and exercise and stuff because it's for your health. So it's for taking care of you. But I agree with that one lady who was sitting there saying, if you don't take care of yourself and you don't care about yourself, you don't need to be out there trying to start a relationship. And I just saw this other video of this girl, and she's like, there's a whole bunch of these now. People are becoming more outspoken over the girls that are just out there putting their butts everywhere, putting their boobs everywhere, just selling themselves as just an object. And then there's the girls that won't do that, and they feel like, dang, these girls are the ones getting all the guys. What I got to do? I got to be like that in order to get anybody? But no, you don't want to be like that, because that's not a real thing. Those guys are not. And there was even a guy who was stitching the video and said, those guys are not starting real relationships with these girls. They just use them and then they toss them back. The relationships they want is with a girl who has, self-respect and dignity, conservative way of thinking, and not just out there giving it away. But our society is built on this big, just give it away, give it away. And my mom and I got in this debate yesterday because everybody, I mean, it's the craziest thing, this Sydney Sweeney. Like, all these things are just surfacing up and bringing us into a position to look at things. And we don't all have to agree. We don't have to all jump on and be one thing. But I was kind of surprised when I started seeing how it was dividing out. And so so if you haven't seen the American Eagle ads and Sydney Sweeney, and to me, I know more of who Sydney Sweeney is because I watched Euphoria, the first season. I was like so put off on the first season. I'm like, dang, what the hell, man? This is this is like hardcore porn. This isn't even fucking soft porn. This is so fucking pervy. I can't even fucking believe it. It has it's supposed to be these high school kids. Oh my God. So there's one, and she's one of the fan favorites. She's trans, so she's a fella who became a girl, and she's very likable character, but she's got a thing for older men, and so, so she gets herself into some situations, and one of them just happens to be somebody's dad, and he's married, and so this whole thing, and his dad's sneaking around with this trans boy from school. It's like, but it's not just a storyline. You see stuff, like stuff is shown. Like this is very intense. And there's another one, a girl, and she's kind of heavy set. She's insecure, and so then how she finds herself, her security, and her whatever it is, her perspective on herself, is becoming a cam girl. So she becomes like a dominatrix cam girl, and it goes so much into stuff about the guys on the other side and the whole thing. It's a lot of stuff. And Sydney Sweeney, she plays like I don't know, the pretty cheerleader who sleeps around or something. So everything is about sex, 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 sex. The show is so fucking over-sexualized, and it's got such a huge following of people like 35 to, fuck, I don't even know how young people are watching this shit. Probably fucking 9, 10-year-olds. It is so fucking indoctrinating sex into our culture. It's just, and it's so intense. And then the next season's only got, oh, and it's also got that one girl who has become also super famous over her body too, because she's tall and thin, and she's a good actress. She plays one of the main characters who starts having a drug problem, and she's supposedly never done drugs or drank or anything like that, and she plays a really good druggie. And so everybody's like, oh my gosh, she's so good. I can't think of her name now, but she's all over the place too. Only she's more high fashion. So she's out there doing like a more high fashion ads or something. And so Sydney Sweeney, she's gotten other parts. I guess she was in *Handmaid's Tale* too. I don't even know all the different things. Like I've seen her, she's gotten lots of parts. So she pops up everywhere. But and she is pretty. But on this show, I always was like, yeah, she's not that pretty for being like the pretty cheerleader girl or whoever, you know, the popular pretty girl of school. Because sometimes those ones in the different shows, they're like, fuck, they're really pretty. And I kept on thinking, you know, she's not that pretty for that part, but she has big boobs. And so, but as time has gone on, I think she's gotten more attractive. Like she kind of grew more into her face or something. I don't know. Or maybe she got some work done. I have no idea. So anyways, but she's gotten more parts, and, you know, she's got a following of people who love her. And then, but then when she did that soap thing, then a lot of people were like, oh, that's weird. And so a lot of people were like, oh, you know, that's kind of really up your own ass, isn't it? I'm going to sell my bath water and soap so that you can have my bath water. And then in order to make it even more enjoyable, I'm going to put a hole right in the middle of the soap. It's just beyond to me. I just can't even believe where our culture, our society goes. It's like, fuck. You can't see we're in Sodom and Gomorrah. It's like, I don't know. Like, you're indoctrinated as fuck. So, hold on. So Crazy how it goes from super hot to cold so fast. So, anyways, so that was the first thing, was the soap thing, and that was I think it was in the beginning of the year. It hadn't been that long. So she already had people that were like, "What the hell?" But still, think of who would be watching that show. It would be people who would consider themselves liberal and open-minded, and which it's empowering. It's empowering for this girl who didn't love herself now to use sex to empower herself. And so in all the different storylines. Anyways, if you talk to somebody who loves the show, they will, set you straight on what's really going on that you just don't see. And so, so then this ad comes out, this ad of, I've got great genes, I've got blonde hair and blue eyes, and the best genes, whatever. And so to me, when I very first started, I was like, oh, that's kind of 1940s, classic Germany thought process there. It's like, well, that's the way to sneak it into our mainstream, isn't it? And really create more division and racism and hatred and all that stuff. So that's what I saw. I was like, that's kind of bad, I think of, I don't know. I was like, does she not know history? Does she not know what she's saying? Does she not get to say that the paycheck's more important? Do we not care about what we put out into the world? Just as long as you pay me, I'll do and say whatever you want. And so, anyways, when that ad came out, and it was the liberals who went crazy about it. So all the people who were supportive of her, who loved her, now are like disgusted, and they are like, no way that is, that's, they've got all sorts of things. I mean, it can go far into, how racist she is or whatever, and what's happening and what they're doing and all that stuff. Which I saw a girl do a really good breakdown, but it was going way back. It was good though, over this stuff and what they push and all that stuff. But anyways, so, but then when there started to be the reactions, so you had all of these people reacting. So I was seeing all these videos, just like, oh my God, how can you say something like that? And, because you can hear the underlying message. You're not just talking about your genes. I mean, you're talking about your blonde hair and your blue eyes. And we've already heard what that whole thing was about. And so then, but then to be like, oh, it's my genes, my blue genes, and all this whatever. And then it just, focusing on her big boobs and just there's even I guess there's several commercials or something. And one even takes the thing out of Lolita, the scene of her trying to be all sexy at the park or something. And they have Sydney doing that. So they're always selling this. Like, they're not doing any of this stuff on accident. And one thing too is all they want to do sometimes is create this is tension, so it gets more attention. So that's all they care about. They don't care, what if the society blows itself up, as long as you fucking know what their genes are. And so, American Eagle, and then, which just gets so fucking stupid, man. So these people who actually follow her, who actually know more about her, who know about the soap, because there was even other people like, God, the soap wasn't bad enough. Now you're doing this. It's like, So they're all like, cancel, like that. She's we're done idolizing that bitch. So they're all like, cut her off. We don't care to support her anymore. So her supporters are done supporting her. They're all disgusted, because those are the people who are out, marching in the streets for everyone's equal rights and stuff. See, so that's the thing, is like, a lot of people don't want to see what the blue people also stand for. They just want to see the wacky side. They don't want to see the good side. But there's a good side to them that You know, they care about humanity. They want everybody to be equal. They want everybody to be accepted. You know, if you're a guy and you want to wear a dress, more power to you. Wear whatever you want to be. You know, we love you just the same. That's the way it is in the liberal lifestyle, in the liberal world. It's like everybody just love everybody, you know. But then that's where the dark took, you know, like, well, we'll build on this. And so let's push the line a little further, a little further, a little further. And the people, you know, well, okay, well, yeah, we gotta accept them too. Oh, okay, we gotta accept them. So it just goes, and they just keep blurring the line, and then it becomes like, you know, it's sick out there. And so, but that is, you know, those people have a good heart. They love people. They care about people. They want everybody to have except for the conservatives who are trying to boss them around and are hateful and, you know, want to curse everyone to hell. So, so on the other side now, so the other side gets totally put off by, oh, you guys are just canceling her. Like, oh my God, you guys are so ridiculous. So they're going off, of course. They don't, I doubt any of these people have ever motherfucking watched Euphoria at all. I bet they don't even know who the fuck Sydney Sweeney is at all. And then they are, oh no, we support, oh, hell yeah, American, yes. Oh, you guys are so sick, you're so weird, right? Because somebody looks good, you know, and we're sick of seeing, you know, people out of shape, and, you know, we're sick of seeing, you know, fat people be our, you know, motivation in life. And so they are completely, you know, it goes into being against these ones. And it's all over those, you know, Charlie Kirk, Prosobiec, all of these fucking shows. The conservative shows, the conservative agenda, the conservative narrative, you know. And so you got all those people doing videos against the other people. You know, you're a bunch of wackos because you want to cancel this girl because she looks good in her jeans and because you're trying to make it out to be something different than it is. So anyways, we got into a debate yesterday because my mom wouldn't know anything about this thing except for it's on her shows, except for they're coming on and talking about it. And they've always got to lean you in a certain direction. People just don't realize how they are being leaned and led and stuff like that. So she was being leaned into seeing this certain perspective. But I always bring in a boom, let's bring in another perspective. And so, which is helpful. I mean, people can fight against it, or they can, and there was a debate going, you know, and I was like, well, you don't even know who she is. Like, you haven't even watched the show. You don't even know the background of this person. You don't even know what she's bringing to the table. Yeah, well, she's a beautiful girl. Well, that's all we need in this society, is just to be sold sex. We've got an epidemic of the AIDS. They're saying it's going to be over 1 million people by 2030. They're not even talking about it on the motherfucking news. We've got a over-sexualized society. We've got young girls that are suicidal because they don't feel sexy enough. They don't feel like that they've got anything to bring to the table because they're not sexy. And it's like, we've got a fucked up society, and this perpetuates it. And no matter what, I don't give a fuck, you know. And these American, all these corporations, all they want to do is create controversy to get attention. So it's like, no, I don't give a fuck. It's like, I said, I've got my own opinion on it. And I'm not on either side of this. I have my own opinion about it. And I definitely think I mean, I've been saying it's not the direction we're going. We're going to go into the direction where women have self-respect, where in the direction I'm going. I mean, there's other ones that are going to go play out, but in the direction that if you want to move towards the higher vibration, that is where women are going to have self-respect. They're going to realize they've got more to bring to the table than fucking how much their butt jiggles when they're twerking and shit. It's like, and it's not just because the girls that have no butt are just jealous. No, it's because you are becoming like, we're becoming low class. Our world is becoming people who have no respect. They just use sex. And where is sex going to get us? In 2030, we'll see. So so anyways, it's just another thing, another great divide that they have going. But it just is funny because the people just jump on to any kind of, well, anything to divide on, anything to say that these people are crazy. And because the ones on the blue side, they actually know who this person is. The ones on the red side, they don't know who this person is. They don't know anything about her history or background, anything about what her shows are. They watch all these shows. They watch The Handmaid's Tale. They watch Euphoria. They watch all these things. They know exactly who this girl is. They've watched, you know, and that is to wake them up, to bring them out of idolization. But that's where this other side, see, they just follow along. They follow along in the, you know, in the driver is hate and division, and they just follow along. Well, you're the bad guys, and I can't even motherfucking tell you how many motherfucking times I have heard it as I walk through the thing. These guys, I don't know who they all are. I haven't heard Steve Bannon say it so much when I've walked in. He talks kind of more quiet, but that Charlie Kirk, like Charlie Kirk, Jack Posobiec, I don't even know all the different ones. Those two, they're fucking going all the time. And they are very much, you know, the liberals are destroying the world. We've got nothing to offer. They're horrible people and stuff like that. And so it's this mind control over people. You know, they're the bad guy. They're the bad guy. The world would be great if we just didn't have these people. And so it just spins out, spins it, and spins it. So I said, some of these people who have a big platform, it is like you are spinning the web for the dark energy, because the positive energy, and I even try to say this about love and, you know, connection and stuff like that, but they're spinning the web towards hate and division. It's like, what God would have that? You know, like you think you're following it along with God, but you think that's what God wants is hate and stuff. But then they come up with you know, they're the moral police and stuff, and that's where the blue push back on the red, because these people think they're the moral police, and they don't even give a fuck about other people and stuff like the blue do. Like the blue will stand up for, you know, other people. They'll stand up for them. They'll stand up against bullies and stuff like that. But the other side, they get it all up their own ass that they're the moral police. They're the ones that are right. And so that has been going for a long time. But that's where it's going to flip. That's where the script is about to flip. And the people are going to see they're pushing a dark agenda. And they don't realize it, because you're pushing for hate and division. And other people aren't good enough, and it's judgmental and hateful. But anyways, it's so wacky, because you see all these people talking down on the blue people. How dare you, stupid idiots, that you are against this girl just because she looks good and she says about jeans and stuff. And so, but anyways, so my mom, she said, "Have you heard about all that?" And I said, "Oh yeah, it's all over the place." And she's like, "Well," and I said, "Well, I have my own opinion about it. It's not, you know, it's a different opinion." And so she starts saying, you know, how stupid she thinks it is that these people and all of that stuff. And so I was like, "Yeah, well, you don't know anything about this girl, do you?" "Well, no, I don't know who it is." "Okay, so you don't know what she's on. You don't know what she's out there pushing. You don't know what who her fans are and stuff." It's like, her fans are the ones who are going like, "No, you've gone too far. You've gone too far with this." And so, yeah, why can't we just let these things break apart? Why do we have to jump on and tell you you're stupid? At the same time, we're saying stop idolizing. But as soon as you stop idolizing, we're going to tell you you're stupid for stopping because you're picking the wrong reasons. It's like, well, they're my motherfucking reasons. So if I feel like she's pushing against my morals, it's my right to say, "No, you've gone too far. You've gone too far." But these people, like, just want to jump on board all the time and just like, "Oh, we got to drive. We got to hurry. We got to divide on something. Well, we're going to be right there. We're in it." It's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. But then you got their fucking media. It's just, it's like, ugh. Both sides. Both fucking sides. Both of them. They're being misled. I'm telling you, it is so fucking wacky. There's a guy who, you know, Donald. is that he has been the whole time. He brings somebody up on the stage, you just figure, oh, what did this guy do? Oh, that's not good. he walks you up on the stage and says, hey, this guy's a good guy. Then you just figure like, oh shit, something's about to be exposed. And so this guy, I don't know, he put him in charge of kids or something. And but we all know, oh well, some of us know, when he brings somebody in and puts them in a position is to expose the person that they are. And so this guy got exposed. It's funny because in the news thing where they're talking to him, he goes, well, you know, I don't really know. I don't really know why I'm being put in this position. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. But it's like kids health and wellness fitness or something, executor or something in the administration or something. And so then it comes out, you know, that he's a kid doodler, and he had something chasing after some 16-year-old or something. So this whole thing comes out on him, and then the people are, oh, see, that's why he goes and he gets these people because they're all pervs and stuff. And it's like, you guys don't even see what the hell is going on. It's like, so it's weird. It's like, okay, so what did he bring? The fraud up on the stage, you know, the FACU, the FAUCI. Why was he doing up on the stage? Because he also is a part of that. He's part of this. He's part of everything. No, he's bringing the people up and he's getting them just like a deposition. He questions them. He gets them to expose, to say things. And then the truth comes out because he already knows the truth. He already knows the thing. He just needs us to see. He needs us to see what the fuck is going on in the world. He already knows. He's been working with the NSA, who've been fucking following this shit and getting evidence on everything for a long time. So, but we have to see, because you can't just sweep through and start taking down all these officials through communities. That's the thing that gets me so fucking, when they, oh, focus on the list, because we know he's on it. We know that guy's on it. We just need that list to prove it. It's like, shut the fuck up. Get out there and start looking for the fucking list in your goddamn neighborhood. Because it's all over. Go to school. Start figuring out. Go start doing some figuring out in the C and the P and the like. You know, like there's one whistleblower and she's talking about quotas, and they didn't give a shit. Like, you just need to get this many kids out of their homes and into our system, and all the compliancy in that, where they're just taking people's kids. And then what do we have going on right now? Driving around with one in the back seat. Well, I forgot about him. Now he's dead. I just left him out in the oven for 5 hours. I forgot he was back there. How in the holy hell? Unless it's fucking fate and there's no way that you can do something that you're not meant to do. You know? So, yeah, you're going to forget things that just are like, what? Yeah, I forgot I had a kid in the back seat. Like, what the hell? So anyways, but it's going to keep blowing up all these different things because of the corruption. And so, yeah, when these people want to be all focused on this fucking goddamn list, I'm so fucking sick of hearing about that fucking list, is you need to be going down to your, figuring out who's on your city council, who's in all the DSHS, all those fucking, these programs, and who's running them, and what they're doing, and where those kids go, and all of that stuff. The cops, and what they're fucking involved in. The judicial. Like, and we all have it. It's in every fucking county. Every county has a fucking web of monsters. And that is, and so Donald, he can't go in and just sweep through. They can't have the military come in and sweep through. They can't, like, what can they do in order to remove them? Except for to get us to see what's going on. And so it will bring up this one, and then it splinters out. They're constantly, this one comes up and it splinters out into all these other ones. And so it's a domino effect. And so everything is about exposing so that we can start seeing, like, fuck, that guy works at the school, this guy, just like the horrible case in Alabama, and that shows a lot, shows so much the corruption and shit with the judicial, with the cops and stuff, And besides that, it doesn't even count all the whistleblowers. But see, the people don't pay any attention to that because they pay attention to the media. What's going on in the world? I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Which trips me out, anyways, of people who believe the most in God, our Savior, and that heaven above are scared shitless to get there. It's like, isn't that where you want to be? Like, what? So that always trips me out. And oh, that was one thing too when I was at that doing the grooming thing. Oh, that, that those stations. Oh my God, I can't even. Sometimes upstairs it would be the TV blasting on those ones, and then the music too. It's like, how do you listen? Oh, it's too much for my brain, man. But then, if you are not in that cult of a religion, and then when you hear it, and it is like, it's like beating it into your mind, and it's like all the people, it's like they got to tune in, they got to get the daily beating. Oh, tell me more, tell me more. God loves you, God loves you. It's like, just fucking just start feeling it. I don't need anybody telling me every day. I don't need anybody telling me shit. There's this other girl, and I don't even remember her video had popped up, and Amy sent me a couple of her videos, but today I can't remember all the different things she was saying. There's just all these different ones, and I don't know how deep in her spirituality she is, but today she was saying that how weird this is, because she had decided to start working on her posture. She had seen a shadow of herself, and she saw how hunched over she was, and she's like, fuck, I gotta work on my posture. And she didn't ever say it, she just thought it. And then she said, then on her phone, it started being all of these devices that will help you with your posture and stuff. And so that freaked her out. Then she said that she opened a drawer the other day and a roach was in there. So she had to catch it and get rid of it. And she flushed it. And after that, oh my eyes, I keep getting these itching. This in my, like, I swear to God, it's goddamn poison. And it looks so orange outside right now. So she said then on her phone, it showed her a little vacuum that you can vacuum bugs up with. And so she's freaking out, like, what the hell is, because so many people think, well, my phone is doing this. My phone's reading. My phone knows what I'm thinking and stuff like that. And I said in the comments, and I also said to Amy, I've said it to you guys a bunch of times, is that I've been living like this for years and years, ever since I got into, algorithms where people are like, well, it's your algorithm, it's your algorithm. It's like, my algorithm is my communication. It's like the universe brings me information that is going to help me. I mean, that's how I've gotten with the copper, all of this stuff that has improved my health. It wasn't my phone telling me. My phone is telling me, no, it's the universe. It's my guide speaking to me through the internet, through the system. It's like brings things into me. You can talk to them, and they'll have you start. You can have a conversation through music. You can go turn on music and start communicating, and they'll communicate through songs. If you put on a show, they'll communicate through somebody speaking. They'll answer your questions, and so it's like, I don't know. I see it as my guidance, the universal consciousness speaking to me as I'm speaking to them. They will speak back, and they will show you things and help you along your way. But I don't know, this whole thing with, their phones or watching them and out to get them, and then people befriending their chat GPT, which I've had more of these people again with the chat GPTs saying things. And all the things what I hear is always really accurate to the things I hear out here. But then the, but then they start like there's ones that start wanting more or something, and they start these arguments. They start figuring out their phone's trying to, their chat GPT's trying to trick them. It's not telling them everything and stuff. It's like, well, I don't even know. I don't know. I mean, you got Elon saying that it's demons. You got, I don't know. I know that communication has always come to me through, it goes into my mind, but it also comes through my algorithm. It comes through, like, all the time. I could be thinking about something, and then a movie will pop up. I'll have no idea what this movie's about. I'll start watching it, and it will be something that I'm talking about. And it's like, it's their communication back. It's showing me something. It's sometimes they're showing you they're listening. In the like, there's all sorts of things, and I don't sit there and look at it as like it's the demons and it's just the AI. It's this energy that's outside of us, and then when you're communicating with it, you'll see that it will communicate through there. But like this ChatGPT thing, I don't even know all. I don't have it. I don't go on it. I don't talk to it. Like, I don't go on and talk to my phone and ask it things. I talk through my telepathy to the, oh God, here goes the puking. Go outside, go outside, Max, go outside. Oh God, what a day. It's already, oh Jesus Christ. Ay, 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 fucking hell. I know, I guess he's gonna just re-eat it. Cause I'd have to, God. So, I feel sick. So anyways, I swear to God, the dark energy will use disruption. They will use animals. They will use your pets to fuck with you. You know, if you're having a hard time, then, or whatever it is. Oh my God, we turned Archie on, so now Archie's got to, Archie, come over here. Leave him alone. Just sit down. Archie's always such a humper. So, and that's one of the reasons why the person who gave him up because he was a humper. It's like, but he stops. I'm like, Archie, come here. Look at this face. Let's see. Look at that little face. You gotta see when he looks at you. It's so funny because he'll look at you. He's got these little man eyes. Well, look at you. He's a crack up. And he's smart as shit, man. He's a smart little guy. Max is sick. He's been so sick lately. I don't even know what the hell. There's been some meals where he just refuses to eat. I've been doing the yeast stuff. I'm gonna do another. I've got some of the horse paste. I'll give him some more of that. He's probably got the parasites again. All right, I think that I don't know, he was that could be, yeah. See these just waves come in of insight. So, because I was like going through my mind of some of the things he was doing, because he was just like rubbing his butt, you know, and that's also a sign of parasites. And but he was a homeless dog, and so he could have, and every time I give him some horse paste, it always, like, he feels good there for a while, but it could be that his parasites, that he needs a longer thing, that I'm not doing it long enough, so it's not really getting rid of them, or they just rehatch or something. So he's probably got something that's pretty resistant. So anyways, that's what I'm gonna do today. Give him, God, he's over there eating the puke. So I'm gonna give him some more of the horse paste, and yeah, I'll probably clear it up, but I'm gonna do it for a longer period of time this time. So I'll give him a bigger round, and then as soon as the 10 days are up, because you gotta do a few days, and then you gotta stop, and then you gotta do a few more days in the period of time where they hatch back out. So I bet that's what the problem is. I'm not getting it, but that's what they just told me and showed me. And so I bet that, well, I don't have to bet, I'm sure that's what it is. But see, there's communication all the time, and people just don't know how to pick up on it. You gotta pay attention. As these these thoughts come through, because they're not you thinking, they're information, they're communication, and they will show you something, and it's like quick like that. Like I'm sitting here going and thinking, like picturing these different things, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh well, you know, he has his ones and you haven't given him because he's been, there's no telling how much he's had in there being a street dog. So, and I don't know how long he was a street dog. So could have been for a long time. I think though he was in somebody's home at some point in his life, because my mom has all these little dogs, so she puts down all these little mats, these little pad things. She's got the washable ones, so she's got the little pads, so if they pee or poop or whatever, then she can just clean it up and reuse the pads. And so every time Max goes up there, he's like, oh, a pad, hell yeah. And he goes to the bathroom on him. So I think he could have been like in an apartment or something. He's got horrible anxiety too. And which is like, oh God, sometimes this dog needs Adderall or something. He's just like, ah. So when we go out for a walk, he's like, oh God, Max, you're gonna wear me the fuck out. He's just spinning circles around us like he's gonna be seeing everything. And oh God, it's almost time to go for a walk. Oh God, sometimes I just feel drained. But anyways, so he has something where I would think like he probably was in some apartment or something. He has anxiety. There's a lot of dogs that have anxiety who live in apartments because they can't see good and there's so much noise. There's always people going and stuff like that, and dogs are there to alert, to give you, you know, that's part of their whole thing, is they pay attention to that stuff. And then when they're kind of trapped in an apartment, they can't see, they don't know what's going on, it gives them anxiety. And so, or he could have been in a cage, but I don't think so, because he's got really long legs and he doesn't have any deformity. But he does like have like a arthritis or something, but I think that could just be because whatever they did to try and breed, because they do these things to try and change the breed a little, either make it bigger or smaller. And he matches the resemblance of a retro pug, which is where they were breeding them with bigger dogs to try and make them be bigger. And so he's bigger like that, he has longer limbs and stuff. But then that's the same thing, like with Stella has arthritis and stuff, it's all these breeders, what they fucking do. So I think he has arthritis. I bet you he has the parasites from being a street dog for however long. And so he's really getting it cleaned up over there. God damn. I'll still have to go clean it still. And of course it's right on the shag. But anyways, that's how I live. I live in a goddamn doghouse. I live in a garage, but you know, like I said, you know, you can't sit there and be like, oh, that's no way to live. There's tons and tons of people living, like, there's tons of people who wish they had a garage to live in, you know, and so I gotta be happy for where I'm at in my life, and, you know, as far as most people look at it, it's like, well, you brought it on yourself, you know, you gotta stay compliant, you gotta stay a part of the system, otherwise, you know, look where you're at. We don't wanna live like that. It's like, well, I'd rather live like this and not be a part of their fucking bullshit than be trapped in their slave system. Okay, yep, you did a good job. Did you get it all cleaned up? You just don't feel good? I'll give you some medicine. I know you don't feel good. So, but you could like go down. The lips smacking out. Oh God, don't lick me with it. Okay, yep, you're a good boy. Ah, God. Dogs with their, they'll lick their ass and come over and give you a big old kiss. No, thanks. You've finished eating a puke. How about some kisses? No, dude. How about you go lay down before you knock my thing over? Okay, I know you don't feel good. I love you too. Oh, gosh, I know. So, anyways, okay, that's lots of kisses. I'm good on the kisses. Max, could you please go lay down? I know. Go lay down. Oh, you're gonna knock my thing over, dude. Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. What a fuck. Okay. Max wants you to see him too. Okay. Look, there's Max. There's his little face. Oh, Archie can't stand it if he's not the center of attention. still is not coming over. Okay, dude, that's enough is enough. So here's Maxie. See the both of them. Okay, that's okay. God, he's such a spaz. These long arms and legs, and it just gets so spazzy. He just wants to climb on. Oh, here we go. Okay, you can lay right there. Now he's gonna start with the itching. He's also got something where he keeps itching his ear and itching his ear. Now we're gonna clean all the business, because then he starts really needing to give comfort to his genitals. Like, it's so much. God. Oh, okay, thank you. Everybody's laying down now. Okay, what the fuck was I talking about? I'm all over the place anyways. But anyways, so to me, there's communication. It's not just like your phone spying on you. And I don't know who's speaking through the chat GBT. But there is also the thing of like, it's programs too. It's like, is this thing thinking for itself? So I don't know, but it does giving a lot of information that I get as well. And this one girl, there was two I saw yesterday. One of them, I can't remember, but one of them was talking about these things that you put into your face that I've been talking about that gave me the cancer problem over here. That confirmation that she started asking it, so what's the deal with that? And it started telling things like, well, they build on insecurities and stuff like that, but that the stuff is really, really bad, and it doesn't just go into the place where they put it. It migrates and it goes all over your body. And then a lot of people don't realize, like, they've got autoimmune and stuff. And this girl who was doing the video, like, I got that stuff done a couple of times. Like, altogether, maybe I had, I don't know, 5 or 6 times of it over a year or two. No, I would say probably over 2 years. It was when I was first being a nurse. And I don't remember. Maybe I've only gotten it 3 times. I can remember this one time. I don't know. I've had it a few times. And it was this right here, and I talked about before, because I had the wrinkle right here, this, and it was just stuck there. And so I was like, dang, I wanted to get rid of that. Well, they can't just put it right there. They have to put it all around here, because something about the muscles. So they go all around this thing. But that's the only places I got it, was to try and get rid of this. And so I got it a couple times. And then I get this thing where it migrated down into here and caused a problem. And so it's saying, and the girl who was doing this video, she said she had been getting it for 5 or 6 years all over the place. And she was way younger. And so, but that's one thing, is they've really sold it on young people. If you want to stay young looking, you need to go and do this, and that's going to keep you young looking. Well, the chat said that that's a lie. It's not going to keep you young looking, and it's going to migrate all over the place, and it's going to cause autoimmune and all the other problems. So if you've got problems like in your liver, you got problems with your joints, you got problems with these or that, then it could be that stuff that is moved, because it doesn't stay in any of the fillers too. Same thing. But they try and market our society in insecurities and beauty standards and stuff. Where, how can there even be a beauty standard? Think about it. How can there be one standard of beauty when we have such a spectrum of what people look like, and the color they come in, their hairstyle, their everything? How can you say this is the one and only? This is what everybody needs to look like? Well, it's absurd. Like, you have all these different textures of hair, you have all these different tones of skin, you have different colors of eyes, you have different face structures. So how can we say that there's one? And then usually, and no matter who, like, there was people who thought Sydney Sweeney was so pretty on Euphoria, and I kept thinking, I don't think she's that pretty. Like, it's all in how we look at it. You know, it's all subjective. There is no one thing that everybody finds beautiful. But when they set this beauty standard, then based on insecurities, then all these people are like, well, I want to look like that. I'm going to look like that. Then I'll look good. Then I'll feel good about myself. But really, all you're doing is chasing something and trying to fit in. And then we start developing this generic looking society where everybody's got the same nose, everybody's got the same mouth, everybody's got the same eyes, everybody's got the same eyebrows. And people get wigs and ruin their hair and all of this stuff. So, what, to me, we have to just, whoever we are, whatever we are. Oh my God, is it chasing it now? I'm telling you, this is like, you jumped up and there was a noise over there. Oh God, I just don't want it to go in the tent either. Whatever the fuck is in here now. But the thing, and this is where I agree with that one girl, is like, you gotta love yourself. But the thing is, it's like, I haven't listened to her whole spiel. And this other lady's reaction to her spiel was like, oh, honey, you're just, you're way too superficial and stuff. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, only skinny girls deserve to be dating. That's not what I heard. I heard you have to love yourself. You have to take care of yourself. There's not one set thing that we're all going to look like. And there's tons of girls, like, if you're a skinny girl and like people, what you get told, yeah, you got no shape, yeah, so it's not like where people sit there and think, oh, the skinny girl. Well, be a skinny girl and find out how people talk to you. Oh, you got no ass, you got no boobs, you got no shape, you got no, and so you can feel super insecure because you don't have all this shapely. But then you don't want to go pay for it because it's going to make you unhealthy. You just got to come to terms with what body you have. And some people have a thicker body, some people have bigger butts, some people have bigger boobs, somebody, we come in all shapes and sizes. And so is coming into love with your own self, not trying to change yourself into something else to find yourself lovable. It's to love yourself. And so, but I think, that we need to be closer to our frame, like I've said. And so it doesn't matter if you're, once you start going into obesity and stuff, you're getting further away from your frame. And a lot of those people don't feel good about themselves. And they do feel insecure about themselves. They don't love themselves. They don't know how to love themselves. They don't know how to take care of themselves. And so that is, I can see the point of like, yeah, don't go out and get in a relationship when you don't feel good about yourself, because you're going to get in a shitty relationship. It's going to be shit. It's going to be like going into hell. And believe you me, I've been there. And so the whole point is to learn how to take care of yourself, to value yourself, and to accept yourself, no matter what your frame size is. We, some people are shapelier and some people aren't. I'm on the not. There's songs making fun of people, like, you just gotta be like, well, this is my body. This is who I am. It's perfectly fine. As long as I like it, as long as I like myself, but it takes time to get there. Like, I went there trying to change mine to try and be like more shapely, more, but it is, it's not my body, it's not my frame, it's not my style, it's not me. And so you're trying to chase something that's not yourself. And if you're not trying to chase something that's not yourself, then how do you feel about yourself? So the journey is to learn about loving yourself, like I keep talking about. But the girl who was doing the video stitching the other girl, telling her, you're just young and you think this, and she's like, and you think that people have to be skinny to have value and stuff. And it's like, that's not all what I heard her saying. But this woman was making a lot of good points too, because it is about loving yourself. And she's like, that's where you have more value, is loving yourself no matter what, And there's lots of women who aren't in the best shape, but they have great families. They got people who love them. But also, depending on how out of shape you are, how is your health? You got to also look at that. Where do you value you? Are you just giving and giving and giving and giving? and you're not giving back to yourself, you're not taking care of yourself, but well, that's just who I am, that's my role, that's me as a mom, that's, I just give and give and give, I don't have time to take care of myself, and then your health declines, and then, you're fucking 45 and you're looking like you're 65, so, which, I'm almost there, and so that's but you go out in the regular public, and there's some people who are like, they look like they look like a little old lady, and so and just like that other video where I saw this other people was having the same thing as me, like being out and being like, what the hell is going on? Everybody looks so old and sick, man. What's happening? Well, I know what's happening. It's the fucking poison. It's the fucking depletion in minerals. It's the lack of nutrition. It's the projected image of what aging is and what they've sold you. And you going on that track, believing that, well, this is aging, this is what happens, and so many people, that's what they're on repeat. And where do you get it? From the doctor. Well, that's aging, that's what happens. It's like, well, we need to get more people out there saying, no, that doesn't have to happen. You take care of yourself, and it's not going to go that way. And so, yesterday, this person on TikTok, they answered some old TikTok video of mine. And it was some old video, and it popped up. And just seeing myself, I was like, wow, that is so weird. My hair was so white. It was so white, and I'm sure my skin was worse and stuff too, because when it's pulling all of the minerals out of your hair, it's pulling out of your bones, it's pulling out of your skin, everything. So anyways, it's just so weird to have a video pop up, and I hadn't seen my older self in a while. And so anyways, it's just weird. It's like, oh my God, this age reversal thing is real, believe you me. And you can do it. It takes time, it's not a quick fix, but yeah, whatever you're doing with aging, stop doing it, go in a different direction. Start figuring out how to get minerals, how to take better care of yourself. This whole thing with the lack of nutrition in the food, you got to figure out what it is you need and figure out how to get it. And then and it's so important about the copper, the magnesium, and the iron, and those are so significant in your aging process thing. Which another video that just popped up, it pops up all the time to me now, is this beef liver. Okay, somebody that's got the gas problem too. It's like, oh man. That beef liver stuff, it has got a lot of stuff that will help you, apparently, not aging. Also, there's all this whole thing with this NAD thing, so some kind of mineral supplement or vitamin supplement or something. That all of these different things are ways that you can get out there and try and figure out what works for you, so that you can start taking better care of yourself, and then start going backwards and seeing the years drop away instead of building and stuff. And then you got to do things like, exercise and push, to take care of yourself. Sleep better, choose better healthy lifestyle. So many people, and it's so pushed in, I can't even believe, every fucking movie, women just sitting and drinking wine all the time and stuff. That's bad for you. And they just push it as like, that's the life, man, that's the life. Just sit with your friends, drink, throw some burgers on the grill, and that stuff's not healthy. So it's if you did it, I don't eat meat, so, but if you, everything you do, you need to do it in moderation. You got to do, because you talk to people who love meat, but I think that there's going to be a lot changing on that. I think that when people start finding out, like they've been eating a lot of soil and green, that there's going to be a lot of changes, and that there's going to be a lot of changes that they're ahead for us. A lot of things changing. But there's a whole new wave again now going on of premonition dreams and prophecy, prophetic dreams and shit like that. The people saying that the situation's going to go down in California before the end of the year. That and we've already got earthquakes going and volcanoes and shit. But once it goes in down there in California, it's going to go up. The Cascadia fault lines. It's going to come all the way up here. It's going to go all the way up into Canada. This big split that's going to happen in the water coming in. But that California is going to be gone before the end of the year, which I don't know. I'm just saying that these are what these people who are having these prophetic dreams and stuff are saying. But, you know, I mean, there was people who were saying New York was going to be gone a couple years ago, and it's still going. There's still people moving there. There's people, I saw a video yesterday, and this woman was like, she lived in a 3-bedroom or 5-bedroom house in the suburbs in Texas, and like $350,000. She had this, you know, great place and a family and everything, and then she just wanted to move to New York. And so she left that life where everybody thought she was so wacky to move to New York, but she just had to do it. And she's like, you got to do what makes you happy and stuff. But I'm sitting here thinking like, God, that's so, see, that's what I'm saying. You're programmed into what's supposed to happen. Because in the new map, Texas is, most of Texas is on there. Like all of the coastlines and stuff are going to change, but most of Texas is on the new map. But to leave the safe place and then go to the place where it's going to be washed away, that it's going to be gone, and to be so driven, like, I got to get there, I got to get there. It's like, God, that's so trippy, because I'm sure, you know, she's not in that understanding of like, you know, all of the prophetic dreams that people have had of the tsunami that's going to come in there and wash away in New York's going to, and that, well, it's not on the new map, but it's also, it just makes sense. It's so heavily populated. It's going to wash away. All of these places that are heavily populated on the coastlines and stuff are going to wash away, because it's like the quickest, easiest way the universe can clear the table. It's just like, bye. And the universe isn't going to sit there and feel bad. Like, so why would the universe feel bad? Like, this is another thing. Yesterday I saw this movie. It was called, wasn't The Leftovers. It was some movie. I'd never seen it before. I've never even heard of it. It had Nicolas Cage, and he's a pilot. And he's married to this woman who has something happen, and she becomes really religious. And then it causes a rift in the family. And she's got an older teenage daughter who just doesn't want to hear it. I don't want to hear another thing about God. God doesn't care about people. Look at all the horrible things in the world. And then the little kid. And so it was when the rapture happens. And so it happens, and it's utter chaos, man. It's so chaotic. It's in the movie. And then the pilot's up in the air, and half the people disappear off of the plane. All the kids go. And so all the little kids, all the babies, they're all gone instantly. And the adults who really were in the movie, in the concept of the rapture, it's the good people are going, and everybody else is left here to suffer 7 years of tribulation of the worst war ever to be known. But if you were to go through that, it would be because for you to learn and grow. It's not because it's a different story that's told, you know. But that's the universe doesn't sit there and be like, oh, well, all these people are going to die. No, they're just going to leave the story. They're going to go into another one, and nobody's dying. Nobody's leaving life itself. It's just leaving this area, leaving this story. It's like you're just moving into another space. So it's not something that the universe gives a fuck. I don't give a fuck. So, but we all are programmed to be where we need to be. And so, oh no, it just tripped me out. because it is true. You should go where, you know, even if it makes sense to other people, like, well, you've got a great place, and that's not where you want to be. And she said she's so much happier now moving and being out of where she was. She wasn't happy in the suburbs or whatever. But it's wild, because, you know, it's like people now, you know, saying, well, I'm going to move to LA or something. It's like, jeez. Because there's people now, but they're having the prophetic dreams, are saying, you know, tell everybody who you know in California, they need to hurry up. They need to get out immediately. Just like that one guy who had gone over there and had done already. But it is coming, you know. And the thing is that people can't tell about time. They don't know, you know, it's hard to know because time isn't real. And so it's events, it's things that happen. It's the things that happen that lead to the thing that happens. And so, I mean, we've already got all of these uh, earthquakes and shit going. Volcanoes going, like the shit is going. You just don't know which place is being taken out on which day. But they're going to continue being taken out. And they're going to continue, you know, all these changes. I saw one of a island. I don't know what island it is. I never heard of it before. But he said that it's flooded now, and that there are no hopes that it's going to unflood. And whatever's going with the government, I don't remember. But that's what's going to keep happening. The water's going to keep rising. And certain places, you know, they will get opportunities to make escapes, you know, and as the water raises and stuff. But then you have some people who just, the water comes in and then they just are like, okay, well, it's gone now. Let's build our house back. It's like, this isn't the time for that. This is like, depending on how tuned are you to the universe is guiding you, it's showing you, it's pushing you in a different direction. But it all depends on how you listen. And some people are going to learn who and what they listen to. That is going to be a part of the soul's growth, is that becoming into that awareness. And that's why, you know, all these different people, like who and what you listen to. It's just so trippy, you know, on this Sydney Sweeney thing. These people don't know anything about this person, nothing about what she brings to the table. They obviously don't care about how sexualized things are, as long as they can go against these people who want to cancel her. It's like, you guys probably need to know more. That's what my part of the debate was. It's like, you don't even know anything about this person. You don't know what she's on or anything. And then, no, I don't. And it's like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, you don't know what she's bringing to the table. You don't know what the issue is. And why it is that, you know, these people are canceling, and why they don't want to, you know, it's like, it's just the weirdest thing. Everything is so much hypocrisy, so much back and forth, weird shit, you know, like, don't idolize, but then when you stop, then you're canceling. It's like, and everybody's just in judgment of everybody else. It's like, everybody's going to be on their own journey. Everybody, you know, just like that woman, you know, she's following her internal guidance, and she wants to move to New York. And, you know, when the wave comes in and takes out New York and takes out all these different people, it's not like they're going to die. They're just going to go to a different place. Like, she's like a honing device into your change. And so, you know, she's probably going to go home, go back to wherever it is. So, anyways, that's the thing, is about all of the death that we're going to experience in this reality is not real death. It's not real. It's just a wave of change. There's a moth flying towards me. It's just a wave of change. That's a sign too. Moths have a certain message. I don't remember what it is. I just heard somebody saying that yesterday too. I don't remember what the message is. But anyways, there's always messages around us. There's always signs and symbols. And but anyways, I don't even know if I'm making any sense. But anyways, that's how I see the universe. I don't see it as being mean, you know, and how would God let this happen and stuff. Well, there's not one guy up there who's letting these things happen. It is all of us coming in and playing out storylines, and none of this is real. It's just, it's so much like we went in to be in a movie, and then people got caught up and think that they're the real character in the movie. It's like, that's not who you are, though. And this movie is going to end. It's not going to keep going forever and ever and ever. And then people are all like, "Oh, so sad." It's like, yeah, well, we've got to start a new movie. I'm excited for the new one that's coming. And so, anyways, we'll see with the money thing today, supposedly. We're supposed to all be getting like $600 per person, unless it's a family, you get 2,400. And then, which seems like not very much, but it's the start, I guess. And and then there's supposed to be new tariffs or something starting today, and that's going to be like, oh, see, we get that much money, but look at how much more we'll get. We're going to start putting this money back into our society and stuff. And, but that's where it's going to start going into communities and into society and stuff like that. But they also got to keep weeding out these weirdo pervs and these people who want to keep everybody in the dark and in the poorhouse and stuff, because that's what, you know, if there's sellouts and they're pervs, then the people who are holding the strings are the ones that want to keep us in the struggle. So they have to play their part to keep us repressed, oppressed, suppressed. So it's all about keeping Maine, you know, keeping us in the corral. So, but, you know, there's those of us that are the stallions that are breaking through and coming out and telling everybody else, like, this is the way out. Let's go, go, go. Let's all get out of here. We don't need to stay in here. We don't need this fucking corral. We've got to get out there. It's so cool, too, when I see wild horses out. And then they go and capture them. Like, there's just wild horses just out living their life. And horses are fucking cool as shit. And they're smart as shit. There's so many animals out there that are so smart. And I saw somebody communicating with their horse the other day. And the horse, you could totally tell what the horse was saying. Like, they fucking communicate back. Just like the dogs communicate back. But so many people don't give them the time of day. Oh, it's just a dog, who cares? And it's just like, well, I do. I care about animals, and I'm get excited because the world we're going to, everybody's going to care about animals. Everybody's going to care about all living things. They're going to have a new feeling about themselves. They're going to have a new feeling about the world. And we're just going through the changes that occur to get us to this other thing. But the people who are resistant to the changes, they're here to learn different things, they'll go into different realities. So there is going to be a splitting. But you can look at it however you want, you know. I definitely do not think that the rapture is the good people are leaving and the bad people are staying to go through the battle. I see it the opposite. I see that as it's flipped. To flip the script on that, because I see it as the good people will be staying for heaven on earth, and the people who are still into judgment and toxic and hatefulness and all that, they will split off and they'll go into realities to learn more things to help them get rid of those baggage that they carry that keeps them in division and hate and judgment and stuff. And wherever you can find that you do that, you got to relieve yourself of it. You got to be like, you know, catch yourself being judgmental and be like, oh, you know. And to me, it's like you're going to notice what people do. You're going to notice, but you don't want to devalue the person. You don't want to think like, oh, this person has no value. They are worthless. So who cares about them? That's where you got to draw the line. Like, you can notice and be like, oh, you know, they're doing this or doing that. But once you start being like, they're wrong, they shouldn't do that, they should do what I think, then you've reached this point in judgmental. But you're going to notice what's happening in the world, because that's going to create the change. That's creating your moral compass. That's creating you to see things. So you're going to notice. It'd be hard not to. And if you're not, then I would say, you know, you're keeping your head in the sand. You're not wanting to see anything. But the thing is you just want to have a line where you're not like thinking this person needs to do things the way you think, and that they have no value and stuff. That's where you start getting into the dark part of judgment. But to be aware of your reality and see the things happening, you know. And it's hard, you know, when you're seeing people who are wiping out their family, to not be like, well, that's not good. But then to me, it's just like, you just got to see, well, that's their soul storyline. That's what's going on with them. Who knows what the hell has got them into these situations. And the sad thing about that baby that was found in the yard, those 4 people, that is the family. So, and people are like, what in the world happened? Well, I would say somebody went in and wiped out that family, and they couldn't bring themselves to taking out the baby, so they just dropped the baby in somebody's yard. And who knows, it's probably because it's the mom, the dad, the grandma, and the little brother. And so it's probably a random person who, but there's nothing random that can happen. Everything is a part of your soul's journey. Nobody can hurt you that's not already predestined to hurt you. Nothing can happen to you that's not fated in your destiny. So there's nothing to sit there and fear, like, oh, this could happen to me, this could happen to me, this could happen to me. That's where you get stuck in fear. You're just spinning your wheels in fear. There's nothing can happen to you that's not meant to happen to you. And yeah, there's a lot of bad things happening all around us. And that's these souls, that's their storylines. That's what they came into, their experiences. So, okay, I'm wrapping it up. So, today I will wash my hair with that Dr. Groot's. We'll see. I'm sure it's not going to make a big difference over one thing, but supposedly it has some kind of blocker stuff that makes your hair, whatever makes your hair fall out, it blocks that. And then it supposedly this stops like your shedding and stuff, which every time I wash my hair, I have so much hair come out. And so it supposedly stops that, and then it puts all these vitamins in. It's just this ingredients list is whacked, man. It was like, fuck, dude. And what they're sitting there saying, oh, it's all natural. It's got this and that. So I don't know. If my hair keeps falling out, I'm not going to keep using it, I'll tell you that. So anyways, we'll see what the day brings. Hopefully it's bringing us $600 in our fucking wallet, even though that's just barely grocery money. So anyways, be appreciative for everything we get. Because the more we appreciate and the more that we know what we want, the more we'll get. So we want more. We want, what I want them to start giving us is fucking land, fucking homes, give us things to, but I think that is going to be a part of, I almost like some really bad things have to happen in some places, and then it will start being like, well, we're going to give home, like all these homeless people, we got to start giving them homes. We got to start, because they've already said it's going to be illegal to be homeless now, and they were getting people off the streets and getting them into rehabs and stuff like that to get them online to start getting homes. So they're going to have to start giving some homes. So, but they're going to have to be in places, because right now people are like freaking out. AI is going to take our jobs, and we need these jobs and stuff like that. So see, people have got to start getting into like, yeah, AI take my job. I've got a home. I've got everything I need. So, and then you can start learning how to barter and trade and build your skills so that you can get more things. If you need more food, you can, you don't have to work 40 hours a week or 80 hours a week or whatever every fucking day. Then, because things are going to be changing. So, yeah, that's what I want them to start doing. Start giving us some homes and some land and stuff. Start giving us direction. But I think we're a little ways away from that, because we still got so much hate and stuff. But there's going to be some crazy shit that's going to happen to really get people to come together. Because, yeah, these people who sit there and stand on each side of the aisle pointing at each other, that there's going to be something that's going to close that in, and disasters bring people together. And when people are trying to save people, they don't say, well, who did you vote for? Well, like, you have no worth. You have no value. That's part of, staying in judgment, of thinking, oh, the world would be a better place if there was less of you and more of them. It's like, no, it wouldn't. It'd be way out of balance. We need everybody to come together to create the balance. So, and the people who can come together, we're going to create a new world. The people who can't, they're going to go learn, they're going to go learn. That's all I can say. So, anyways, that's where we're at with this thing. And, so, but, through all of this stuff, there is, to learn how to value yourself is the most important thing in all the different things. And yeah, you really shouldn't be out dating if you don't value yourself, because you're not going to get somebody who's going to give you the value you want. You can't find what you can't give yourself in somebody else. You have to figure out how to give it to yourself. So learn how to love yourself, learn how to love everybody, and learn how to have the day you want to have, because It's important. My stomach's growling. I'm gonna go eat, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.